Hello, you fine, fine gentlemen and gentle ladies of the true Warhammer 40,000 community. How you doing? This is Asmogan, and today got a new commentary video for you guys. And yeah, before we get into things, before we get into the wonderfulness that is today's topic, I'm actually going to be recording two videos today. You'll see this one first because I'm recording it first, and then there's another one I'll be talking about with Sweet Baby Inc. Isn't it a great time to be alive? Anyway, before we get into things, I want to encourage all of you to go check out the podcast that I have recently started up with two fellow 40k content creators, that being Nico 40k and Nathan X 2000. Both are wonderful, amazing gentlemen that I am personal friends with. I couldn't be happier to be doing work with them. Nathan makes more love to those Dawn of War CDs than he does his own girlfriend.
Oh my.
Fucking like she comes in like, Nathan, are you quite finished? Are you coming to bed? Silence, wench. I must tend to my discs.
So, yeah, got 2 episodes on the channel, and we're going to have a new one every Wednesday. Feel free to check those out on the channel page, and it'll also be linked in the pinned comment below. So, check out the new podcast. It's free to watch, free to listen, and it's a lot of fun, and a lot of fun to edit as well. But, on to the actual topic for today's video. So everyone knows the female Space Marine debate, correct? Everyone knows about that oh-so-wonderful topic of such significant import that it must constantly be brought up endlessly. Well, recently we've been slapping the fuck down every dumbass who actually tries to push for that because, well, we've, at every single turn and corner, smacked them directly in the face with the lore and with a direct text examples of the fact, the certifiable fact, that Space Marines are only men, and there is no tangible benefit to the universe, setting, or game to change them to women. In fact, it's a detriment to certain factions like the Sisters of Battle and the Sisters of Silence, the latter of which is already getting very little support. But if that weren't bad enough, it seems like they've finally accepted that avenue of conflict is not working out for them, and that they're truly getting defeated at every corner for trying to push this absolute bullshit for no discernible reason other than political ideological points, and to plant their flag and say, hey, we control this and we have a say in manipulating this, that being Games Workshop and that being Warhammer 40,000. So, since that hasn't been working out for them, and they are constantly getting their asses handed to them in the debate for female Space Marines, it seems that there's a bit of a goalpost shift. They're trying to attack the hobby from yet another angle. Custodes. Fuck, this is gonna get old fast. Alright, so this comes to me from a friend of the channel named Afiel. He made me aware of this Facebook interaction, and it seems like there's a couple other examples of this. So, an individual over there by the name of David Morgan decided to try and push on a post related to Custodes and the recent announcement of the new shield captain for Custodes. And they're making statements such as this: would have been better to make a female shield captain. A Custodes, mind you. And keep in mind, this individual, and we'll go through several screenshots of this conversation, this individual is not saying, oh, we should have a Sisters of Silence, shield captain, or a Sisters of Silence Custodes style figure, but in this same role. No. This individual is pushing for Custodes themselves to have women added to them, even though they, like the Space Marines, have always been lore-wise all male. Anyone else getting a sense of deja vu? Like a massive one? Like, am I the only one sitting here, like, I feel like I've had this exact same interaction and this exact same, you know, back and forth before. Crazy, I'm losing my mind. So, thankfully, a actual real fan of 40k and a real hobbyist jumped in and said, female Custodes aren't a thing. Just stop it. Which, honestly, that's the correct response. Didn't need to go overboard, didn't need to throw insults of his own out, just said flat out and made sure that the gate was held. Gatekeep always, my friends, by the way. No, there are not female Custodes. Just like Space Marines, they're all male. And it's always been that way in the lore, and there is no reason whatsoever to change that. It doesn't add to the lore, it doesn't make things better, it doesn't do inclusivity like they claim, because again, we have Sisters of Battle, and we have Sisters of Silence, we have Female Guard. We have plenty of female representation in this hobby. So don't let them ever make that claim to you. Ever. Don't even give that a humorous side glance, because it's absolute bullshit, and it holds zero water under basic scrutiny. That being said, that's not the end of this conversation. The individual in question, David Morgan, who has a cat avatar, might I point out, cat profile picture. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So yeah, there's no lore reason, asterisk against them. However, one of the Black Library authors says that he asked if he could put one in. GW said no, because there weren't any female Custodes models. Not because they were technically impossible, or that GW didn't want them. So they have no models for female Custodes. Why is that, do you wonder? It's because there's no need for them. There's no lore, justification for them. There's absolutely no desire from the fan base for them. We, within the 40k fandom, who are real 40k fans, don't need female Custodes. Do you know why? It's because we have an equivalent that, as it is, isn't getting enough support. They're called Sisters of Silence, and they're way more badass than some shoehorned in Custodes with a vagina that has no use. They don't procreate. Just like the Space Marines don't procreate. You're a moron for even wanting this. It's pointless. Why don't these same people, and I know the answer to this is a rhetorical question, but why don't these same fucking people who always push female Space Marines and push fucking, now apparently female Custodes, why is it they don't put even an ounce of a fraction of a gnat of effort into pushing for more Sisters of Battle, pushing for more Sisters of Silence, pushing for more female guard models? Why is it they don't push and add all this fervor they seem to fuel themselves with on a day-to-day basis for female Space Marines? Why don't they take just a little bit of that and push for female representation that's already lore-friendly, and that the vast majority of the community would support them with? That's the thing. The reason they choose this route is they want conflict. They want division. They want to tear this community apart and oust those of us who want the lore to be preserved and added to in sensible ways that actually add to the universe and actually add to the quality of things, as opposed to take away from them or add something that just, quite frankly, doesn't actually add to anything. It subtracts. Like female Space Marines would, like female Custodes would. It just doesn't make any sense. But that's why they choose this course of action. They choose this course because if they win the debate and they're able to manipulate GW into doing what they're asking and demanding, then that shows that they have control, that they have steered the ship, and now that they are on the bridge, they're the captain now, and they throw overboard who they want. And they want to throw you and me and anybody else who just wanted the lore to be remained faithful to and added to in ways that actually matter and actually add to the universe. They want to oust you from your hobby. They've admitted it straight out. I have videos on this channel that back up that perspective. They have been transparent, in fact, over the last few months about their motivations. It has nothing to do with representation. It has nothing to do with diversity. It has nothing to do with any of this. It's pure ideological activism. And it's done solely so they can say, I manipulated this, therefore I have control. And it's bullshit. So yeah, the Chad Constantine said, right, sure. So this individual then showed Aaron Dembski Bowden, a beloved author, not really, responding to people on Reddit. Which, by the way, there's no proof that this is actually ADB. As far as I know, granted, I'm not on Reddit, so I don't know what his official account looks like. But just looking at the screenshot, I don't see anything special about his name. And I find it weird that it's Aaron _ Dembski - Bowden. I don't know. For me, that's just weird. Wouldn't it just be Aaron Dembski Bowden with a space? Why is there an underscore? Granted, again, I'm not on Reddit, so maybe, I'll admit this might actually be ADB. But even if it was, it says, some of us had this discussion behind the scenes, since lore-wise, there was no reason why it wouldn't be possible. And again, there's no qualifiers or shown anything. It came down to a former IP overload saying no because the minis are finished, they're all male. That could be referring to just Space Marines. That could be referring to Custodes. That could be referring to several things. Like, that's not really helpful. That could be referring to orcs. Like, that's how little detail is provided in that little screenshot there. And as it is, orcs don't have a gender, so I guess that wouldn't necessarily work. But point is, let's go with Constantine's response. So, at the end of the day, there's no female Custodes either in the lore, nor in the model line, and it's highly unlikely there will ever be. Gotcha. Thanks for the clarification. Thank you, Chad. Absolutely based. So, this is completely stupid. Like, again, this, first of all, there's no context with this image. But even, again, let's say that it doesn't change anything. One writer who, quite frankly, has had a debilitatingly bad reputation over the last few years amongst the fan base, it was also known to be woke, made this statement. Great. There's like 500 other writers for Black Library. But even if that being the case, there aren't any. There aren't going to be. There's no need for them. And the community doesn't want them. A real fan of 40k does not want Custodes. Do you know why? Because what we do want is even better, higher quality, and would be infinitely more welcome. More Sisters of Silence. More Sisters of Battle. More female guard. Bring us lore-friendly female options, and the community will welcome it with open arms. Why must you, and again it's rhetorical, why must you guys push so fucking hard against something that goes directly against the lore rather than along with the lore? Why are you trying to go perpendicular when parallel you would get no resistance? Again, I know why. Rhetorical question. Gatekeep, my friends, and gatekeep hard. Catch you later. Bye-bye.